Okay, so in this video we will be discussing, we'll be continuing our talk on the closure property for the whole numbers and closure property. So in the previous videos we have discussed about the closure property under addition and subtraction, and in this video I am going to discuss about the closure property for the operation of multiplication on whole numbers. So now again we'll proceed as we did earlier. We'll just take two numbers and try we'll take two numbers and we will multiply them. So let's start with a few multiplication operations. Let's start 0 cross 1. This is always 0. We can do 5 by 5 multiplied by 2 gives me 10. 7 multiplied by 3 gives me 21. Some other operations are 20 multiplied by 20 itself gives me 400, and we can try some more examples like 32 multiplied by 20 gives me 640, and so on. We can keep on multiplying two numbers. And now let's have a look at the results here. So we do see that when I multiply 0 by 1, these two are whole numbers. So if you see, the operations are done all here. They are done on the whole numbers. And let's see now what is the result. So the result of this multiplication is 0, which is a whole number. Then the result of this multiplication is 10, which is a whole number. Is this a whole number? It is. Is this a whole number? Yes, it is. Similarly, is 640 a whole number? Yes, it is a 640 whole number. So what you can do is you can try taking any two whole numbers and multiply them and observe and verify yourself that the resultant number is, after multiplying two whole numbers, is always a whole number. So let me just put words to this observation. We observe that multiplication of whole numbers always results in a whole number. Always results in a whole number. And as a consequence of this, we can conclude that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. Which implies that the closure property implies that whenever we multiply two numbers, the resulting number is going to be a whole number. Now, having said that, let's try to see if the closure property is satisfied for division of whole numbers. Closure property for division. So in this case, let's try dividing numbers. Let's take sets of whole numbers and try dividing them. So we try doing 8 divided by 2. It gives me 4. Then we are taking simple numbers here. 10 divided by 2 gives me 5. Yes, then we can also take 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. Interesting. Similarly, we can go on and list as many divisions as we like, and then we can find out that the resulting numbers that we have are whole numbers. Now we have to check whether this will be possible for all the sets of numbers. So now if you see in these cases, right, we are trying to divide a bigger number by a smaller number, and then we get an answer which is a whole number. Now let's try whether this will be applicable for all combinations of numbers for division. So let me take an interesting case in which I'm trying to divide 7 by 5. Do you get a whole number here? we normally just represent it as 7 by 5, and you will find out that there will be some decimals coming, so this is not a whole number. Okay, then we can try other scenario. We also have 9 divided by 8. So this could be written as 9 by 8, and whatever the answer of it, it is not going to be whole number, so this is not a whole number. Now this is a larger number divided by a smaller number. The other scenario could be 5 divided by 7, the reverse of it, 5 by 7. This is also not a whole number, and similarly we can reverse 8 divided by 9, in which we are dividing a smaller number by a bigger number. So in this case we will have 8 by 9. This is also not a whole number. So based on these examples, what we conclude is division of whole numbers doesn't always result in a whole number. Please note, we say that doesn't always. It means sometimes it does give us a whole number, but many times it will not, as we saw in the cases here. And as a consequence of this, we can conclude that whole numbers are not closed under division. So in this case, let us quickly summarize the closure property for whole numbers. So in the last 3 videos, we have just tried and investigated that the closure property, whether it holds true for whole numbers under various. So we can conclude that whole numbers are closed for addition and multiplication, and whole numbers are not closed for subtraction and division. So this is an important result which you can, sorry for the line going like that. So this is an important result which you need to keep in mind. So now see you in the next video, in which we'll be exploring more properties of the whole numbers.